Hey, good morning, everyone. Nathan here. So, welcome back to Calibration Impossible. And man, this has been a turbulent, almost a full year of my life with building this truck and having to deal with the recalibration of the larger tires, and how it's just been a domino effect with everything. Performance wise, gas wise, everything with my truck. So enjoy the video. Oh, hello, welcome. All right, well, welcome to the Calibration Impossible. I'm going to talk to you about a few of the products that I've tried that did not work out, and kind of the story behind why, and then where I'm at today on August 1st, 2021. So going all the way back to September when I purchased my truck, obviously it came as just a normal incomplete Ram 5500 dually, and I'm only talking about 2019, which my truck is, and newer. You know, I'm not talking about all Dodge Rams. I'm not talking about Fords or Chevys or GMCs. All right, so I took my truck up to Prineville, Oregon to Buckstop Truckware at the end of 2020. Had them do the complete single wheel conversion on my truck. And so what they did was, in essence, is they removed the 6 32-inch tires, dually tires, and they put on 4 Continental MPT 81s, which are 40-inch tires, and on all 4 corners. So that drastically changed the calibration of my speedometer. It really trickled down everything, you know, to my truck electronically. And let me explain. So when I picked it up, you know, everyone there at Buckstop was like, hey, just get a recalibration tool. You know, we'll give you one. And when I got there, unfortunately, they did not make, no one in the industry made a 2019 or newer Ram 5500 recalibration speedometer tool. So they gave me the mathematics of, you know, how much faster I'm going to be traveling to what my speedometer would be reading. So like, you know, if I was going 65 on my speedometer, I was really going like 81 miles an hour, which, you know, was a pretty drastic difference. So, you know, they said, hey, something should be coming out with this particular company called Hypertech, and as soon as they get that out, we'll give it to you. Well, I, you know, waited a few weeks, and just it was almost impossible to drive my truck with any kind of accuracy, with miles, with you know, the gas consumption. So I called Buckstop. They gave me a contact into Hypertech. I then called Hypertech, and they told me that unfortunately with the 2019 5th gen Rams or newer, they will not be doing a speedometer calibration tool or mechanism, whatever you want to call it. So I was like, man, okay, well, it's kind of, you know, crap for me. So I kind of, you know, I just had to figure this out on my own. And I went to, you know, of all places, YouTube. As we all know, that's the best place to get information. And I, you know, found a video. So there's a guy, Kevin, out of California. He is the owner of the Ram 5500 camper thing. And he's like, you know, has really great content. So I'm going to link his channel on this video and on my page from here on, so that way you can, if you're interested in these huge single wheel conversions on these big heavy duty trucks, you can also reference all of his information, which is awesome. All right, so I went to his channel to see what he did, because I knew he did a Buckstop conversion on his Ram 5500, which was the 5th gen. He actually went and saw a video from this guy Eddie that did something very similar with his Ram 3500, but it was a newer one. regardless, this hole is like a rabbit hole with everything with these big trucks. So I saw that video with Eddie, and he picked up this Hypertech speedometer recalibrator, or speedometer calibrator, and it's not for, you know, our size trucks, as you can see right here if you want to pause it or whatever. But it's the 752504 2018 to 2020 Ram truck and JL, sorry. There's also another, like, you know, number 1925251. Anyway, he installed this, it fixed his issue, and I'm like, hey, Kevin installed it on his, it fixed his issue, I was gonna install it on mine. Well, as you all know, mine is not a diesel, it is a gas engine. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but when I installed this, going from Eddie's video, he was like, hey, make sure you get the tire size all, you know, exactly. And so when I measured my tires, it was 39.75 inches. And instead of 40 inches, it was 39.75. And he was like, make sure it's exactly the same, so it's rotational and everything works. All right, so when I installed the Hypertech speedometer calibrator, it did work, okay? I had it set at 39.75 or 39.75 inch size tires, not 40 inch. And so it did work. It brought the mileage down to about 1 mile difference. So if I was going 75 on the highway, I was going 76, you know, in my truck. So it was within 1 mile. So it actually worked very well. The problem is that the shift points were terrible, and then my engine was sputtering very, very violently, if you will, in only second gear, and only between the RPM bandwidth of 2000 RPM to like 2600 RPM. Only in second gear, and only between those two RPMs points, it was like sputtering so bad. It was hiccuping. I didn't know if I, you know, broke my truck. I don't know what happened, but my truck was totally almost undrivable between that, and I'm always going in second gear, and I'm always going through that RPM width, because, or that range, sorry, because, you know, in traffic, stop and go, you know, whatever the case may be. So getting back to it, it's like, you know, I was at a dead end. I didn't know what to do when it came to recalibrating the truck. No one made anything. I'm doing something that didn't even fit on my truck, and now my truck's performing terribly. All right, so there's the first part. I tried to take out the Hypertech speedometer calibrator, and it did not bring it back to stock. My truck was still sputtering in that second gear. So I then tried this, which is Hypertech. It's a company called Hypertech High Performance Controllers, and it's supposed to be like a throttle controller. This is the X9 HI-015B throttle controller. So I tried this. On their website it says, hey, it fits all Hemi 6.4 liter gas engines, all Ram trucks, all years. So I got it, and of course it does not fit. The connector does not fit in the 2019 Ram 5500. So in essence, this is just a waste of money. So then I went to the third option, and I got this AEV calibrator. And this one, if you can see the number here, I'll read it off to you. It is 410603005BA, and here it is. Here's like the chip. It goes in. It's the AEV ProCal Snap. And again, like, none of these are inexpensive, by the way. They're all like 200 bucks. So I had the Ram dealership actually install that one. Not only did it not work, but this time my truck started nosediving in first gear. So like, it would get to about 10 miles an hour in first gear and then just nosedive. I mean, it was terrible. And then it still sputtered in that second gear. So I thought now I was really screwed. Like, I thought, okay, I could possibly live with that sputter even though I didn't want to, but now with my truck nosediving its power in first gear, only at like 1500 RPM, it was just crappy beyond belief. Plus, my gas consumption went all the way down to like into the high 6s. For some reason, my computer was saying that I was only getting like 6.8 miles to the gallon, which it never said that. And then it was doing really funky things shifting when I was on the highway. If I was going down a deep, steep incline, if I was going down that, it would downshift way into like almost first gear, it felt like, and it would go all the way up to like 6,000 RPM and sit there, and I couldn't manually get it out with the gear limit selector. I mean, it was, again, I thought I screwed up my truck. Okay, so which brings me back to this whole conclusion. I called Hypertech. Those are really great guys. It was an older gentleman on the phone. He was like, you know, they gave me all the support I could. And ultimately, I had the epiphany that the one thing I didn't do, the one thing that Ram didn't, or the Ram dealership didn't do, is we all set the speedometer calibrator at 39.75 because that's the height of these tires when they're on the truck. Well, I just had the epiphany of I never tried it at 40 inch. I did it at 40 inch. Lo and behold, mission complete. It is changed it to where it's all shifting correctly. I'm getting over like 9.5 miles per gallon in the city on this truck. I'm not that sputter, that gear shifting early is almost completely gone. No more nosedive in first gear. I mean, everything works like it should. And it's not perfect, but it's like 98% perfect, where before it was like 25% perfect. I mean, it really, like, I almost felt like I couldn't sell my truck if I wanted to with the way that it was performing before, with the sputtering, with the nosedive, with the terrible fuel consumption on this computer. But now everything has been fixed, all because of like 1/4 of an inch on the Hypertech speedometer calibrator. And yeah, I mean, when I go 75, I'm going 75. It's right on. Everything is fixed. So there is hope. There is hope that if you have a 2019 Ram or newer, and you're doing a single wheel conversion, or you're just going to larger tires, to like 40-inch tires, and you have a 45 5500, that's all I can speak for. Use the Hypertech speedometer calibrator, but make sure you set it at what your tires or says on the tire. If it's 40 inch, set it at 40 inch. And that should work for you, because I've gone through this odyssey of 11 months of hell, and I've recently just did this like 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to make sure before I made this video that it stayed that way, and it has for over 400 miles. So here we are. We're back at it. Got a truck that I love driving again, and I really hope this helps you with your journey on these builds. Nothing is perfect. There's not a lot of information out there. That's why I referenced Kevin, my buddy out there in California. He's awesome. Ram 5500 camper thing. And you know, anybody else that's kind of going through this through those message boards on Facebook. I've met a lot of cool people too. But it's just a small community that we got to help each other and you know, give this information. So I really hope this helps you all. Please give us a subscribe, Cruise and Views. We're making content every week, and really you know, grateful that you guys are tuning in. Have a wonderful start to your week, and we'll see you next time.